So hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Valeria Contreras and I am the Advocacy Director for A Colorado, and partnered with DFER, we are interviewing community partners to get to know what they're doing during COVID. With me, we have Juliet from DFER and Anataly Uribe, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Juliet, and I am with Democrats for Education Reform Now, also known as DFER. And as mentioned already, we're just interviewing partners to get insight on what's happening and the amazing work that they're doing. And so we'll kick it off to Anatalia so she can introduce herself.
Hi, my name's Anataly Uribe. I am currently a kindergarten teacher at McGlone Academy in Montbello. And it's a Denver public school.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anataly, for your time and for doing this interview with us. The first question we have for you is, as an educator, what are some of the challenges you've seen teaching online?
So some of the challenges I've currently seen is not all parents unfortunately don't have access to internet, which is making this whole process extremely hard. And not only that, some don't even have access to a computer. So luckily, they do have phones that have internet. And we have our kiddos watching our YouTube videos from their phones. Another issue that I've also seen, or challenge, is it's been really hard for some parents to understand our method about what we're using to teach their kiddo. So for example, with our little kids, my coworkers and I decided that the best way to teach them would be through YouTube videos. However, some other teachers in upper grades are using other platforms like Google Classroom. And so I think it's been extremely overwhelming for a lot of parents to learn how to navigate these different platforms. And not only that, some are not very, tech savvy and don't even know how to log on to YouTube. So explaining this whole procedure to them has been extremely challenging because, I've tried different methods. I've tried making YouTube videos and walk them through the process, or I've also been on the phone with them and tried to explain that. So it's just, it's been hard. It's been really hard, but some have successfully got the hang of it. So that's been good. Another challenge that I've also seen is obviously I'm not able to see my students and monitor their progress. And that's been really difficult because I know where we left off and where the skills that I was working on with my students. And I unfortunately haven't been able to do that as I wish I could.
Yeah, I can totally see those things happening. Thanks for sharing that. How are you feeling supported by your administration at your school or by the district, Denver Public Schools?
I feel very supported by my administration. Since day one, our principal, sent out emails and kept us just informed on what the district was doing. We tried to think about different ways. How are we going to make sure that, the families that do need access to computers have them? So luckily, they responded really quickly to that and gathered a few team members and we distributed computers. We've also had weekly check-ins and, they're different. It's a different type of team meeting that we're used to because it's in person and now it's virtually. But, I think we're trying to maintain that same structure that we did when we were all working together. So that just feels good, that she's been trying to hold us together as a team, and it takes a lot to do that. And I really appreciate the hard work that she's doing. Also, I think the district has, sent out a lot of information on how to inform parents on what remote learning will look like. And I think that's been beneficial. I'd want to see more more support on making sure that all of our families have access to internet, not just several. And I think that's something that the district needs to figure out here soon, because we still have a lot of families that don't have access to internet or computers. So yeah, that needs to get figured out soon.
Thank you, Anataly. You've mentioned some really good challenges that you've noticed, and also some supportive ways in which the district have come along teachers as they try to meet the needs of families at this time. But even in challenging times, there are also some like benefits, as hard as it may be to see them. Have you noticed any benefits to online learning, this new style of learning that we've seen? Have you noticed any positives, any things you can speak on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I think one of the greatest benefits is that we still get to see our students. Um, we're currently doing Google Hangouts, and we meet with myself and my paraprofessional. We're meeting with 5 students each day, trying to get through our entire class by the end of the week. And so they get so excited to see, each other's faces and ask questions. That's a huge benefit. Just having them see each other and letting them know that we're still here for them. Also, too, I think more than anything, I've realized just how strong of a class I have this year and how much my parents care about their students' learning. I've had a great, there's been a very big turn around our parents who have sent me their pictures. I'm constantly getting messages of my kiddos reading, parents asking questions. And so it just speaks to our classroom culture that we were able to build since the beginning of the year, and just how much our parents care that their kids continue to learn, no matter if it's at home or if it's in school. They're still working their butts off to make sure that their child is successful.
That's so great to hear that your family engagement is still going strong, even though we're online instead of in person.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Miss Uribe's classroom is actually a bilingual classroom. So just wanted to know if you have anything on like how online learning is affecting your curriculum, since it is bilingual. Has that changed anything, or are things the same?
I would say it hasn't changed much. Unfortunately, we laid out our scope and sequence of what we wanted our year to look like and end like, and what units we wanted to teach. So more than anything, it's just obviously we're not going to be able to teach our students some of the units we were planning on. And also, I'm just not able to give them the scaffolds they need. I have just so many kids with different ability levels, and I know, what they need, and I'm not able to give them that in that moment. And so it hurts. And yeah, that's just been some of the ways that it's affected my curriculum.
Thank you. That's unique. And I can just in general, schools are struggling, districts are struggling to educate those students that need that additional support and those additional needs. How have you, as a bilingual instructor, been able to support your ELL students through this crisis?
So with our bilingual classrooms, a lot of our students do receive ELD, which is a 45-minute block period, and it's where they develop their English language skills. And it's mandatory that we give them this time every day. So what we have been doing is that we have been developing some English lessons that they can practice at home. And so parents, we send them those lessons, and hopefully they're able to practice with their kids. I do think that some of these lessons are obviously a little too easy, because I do have a range of students whose English proficiency is just, some are really high, some need more support. But at least they have these lessons where they're being exposed to English and practicing it. In my morning meetings, I've also started to infuse some English. And when I speak to kiddos, I know their English proficiency. So the ones who I know can communicate with me in English, it's another way to just get them to practice. I think what's been really hard is just, our kiddos with IEPs and making sure that their needs are being met. And unfortunately, I mean, for some, it's not happening because it just can't. But ensuring that we just support them as best we can. And our special education teacher and I have been communicating and, just trying to brainstorm on some ideas that we can do to make sure that our kiddos with IEPs are getting some of their minutes met.
Great, thank you so much for sharing. Have you heard about any challenges that your students are facing directly from your students or parents possibly?
Yes, I've heard stories of, we've had some families who have had to, unfortunately, find other methods to pay for their rent. So we've heard a lot of families who are struggling financially. Some are just not having enough access to food. I think too, some just want to help their kids at home, but don't know how, or they've tried to have internet connected at their homes, and it's just such a pain. You'll call Comcast and they'll have you on hold for God knows how long, and they are trying, but unfortunately, it's not all rainbows and sunshines.
Thank you so much. That can be very, very tough for families. You've done an amazing job. You're incredible. Are there any learning tips that you can give other teachers as they go along this journey? What are some encouraging words you can say?
I would say one tip is, just trying to keep families informed on everything that your school is trying to do to help them out. And, sending motivational texts to your students, letting them see you, sending videos to them. Currently we have our kiddos sending us their work. So every time they send me their work, I don't ignore it. I appreciate so much what parents are doing. And so making them feel valued and letting your parents know that they matter so much in their child's education, I think has made a huge impact on the parent engagement that I'm currently seeing. And and also using a platform that is appropriate for your classroom. I wanted to use Google Classroom for kindergarten, but I still don't think they're there yet. Maybe with parent support they are, but I've already seen enough struggles with YouTube as is, so I don't want to, overwhelm my parents with more, more ways of having their kiddos learn. So just choosing what's right for your classroom and your students, I think, is what's most important.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for your time, and thank you for doing such an incredible job. We really appreciate you from the team at DFER and from the team at A+. We're so grateful to have teachers like you in the community that are supporting students and supporting families. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, Anataly, thank you for making the time to do this interview. We appreciate you and can't wait for this video to come out.